Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are going to be doing another problem in our LeetCode 75 study plan series. So now we have graduated to a new category from the hash map and set category to the stat category. So the first problem is called removing stars from a string. So let's get to it. Our instructions are you are given a string S which contains stars asterisk. In one operation, you can choose a star in S, remove the closest non-star character to its left, as well as remove the star itself. Return the string after all stars have been removed. Note the input will be generated such that the operation is always possible. It can be shown that the resulting string will always be unique. Okay, so for those of you who didn't understand right off the bat, basically what we have to do is remove the star and then the non-star character to the left of that star. So in this example right here, we remove the star and then we got rid of the T, so there's no T, and then we remove the star and then we got rid of the other E, so there's no two E's right here, and then we remove the star right here and got rid of the D, so there's no D. So then it just returns this in a string. And yeah, as you can see, our return type is a string and our input parameter is a string, so that's what we're going to be working with. And since this is a stack category, we're going to be using a stack. For those of you who don't know what a stack is a type of data structure. So think of an array as a data structure or an integer is a data structure. A stack is a data structure, and it follows the principle of first in, last out. So think of a stack of books. You put a book down, and then you put another book down. The first book is the last one to go out, but the last one to go in is the first one to go out, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and get started with our coding implementation. So the first thing that I think we need to do is we need to create our stack data structure, and we can just call this our word. So let's do stack, and then it's going to be a stack of characters, right? Because that's what makes up a string. And let's just call this word. And then it's just like most things in Java to initialize it, right? All right, so now we have our stack. Now what we want to do is we want to go through and in a loop and then check if our current character is not an asterisk or a star, whatever you want to call it. If it's not a star, then that means that we can add it to the stack. But if it is a star, then we don't have to add it to the stack, and then we can uh, get rid of the previous uh, non-star character in the stack, and we can do this using push and pop operations, which are operations that are unique to a stack. And uh, if you haven't heard of stacks or you're barely just starting getting used to stacks, then this is something that you're definitely going to need to know. All right, so for int I equals 0, I is less than s dot length. So we're iterating through the entire string, right? Okay, so if s dot char at I, so we're checking to see the current character at iteration I, or at index I, is not equal to our star, then what we want to do is we want to put that letter on the stack, and we do that using the push operation. So word dot push and then s dot char at I. All right. So since it can either be a star, the only other alternative is that it's not a star. So we just need to set up an else statement. Else, what we want to do is word and then pop. So what pop does is it takes it off the top. And remember the first in, last out principle. So with that said, this takes off the non-star character to the left of where that star is in the input parameter. So that's all we have to do, word.pop. All right, so after this loop, we're left with basically our result. However, we have to take that result and turn it into a string. If we were to just use the toString method on our stack, what we would get is we'd get the brackets and the comma because it's a stack of characters, so it's separated. It looks like an array if you were to print it out. For example, just to help you guys visualize this better, I'll just type it in. So uh, say we're returning the output from example one. It would look like this. Oh, but with yeah, it would look like this. So what we can use now is a string builder. So in order to use a string builder, I've shown this to you guys in my previous videos. I think it was actually in my array category videos right in the beginning of the series. So if you haven't checked those videos out, go ahead and check those out. But a string builder it's pretty self-explanatory, right? And you can just call this SB, string builder for short. We'll initialize this. All right. So if you don't understand why we're using a string builder, you're going to see in just a second. So we're going to iterate through each character in our stack. Okay. And then all we have to do is use the append method, and we just append our character. And then now to turn this into one coherent string, we just do SB to string. Simple as that. All right, so let's go ahead and run this. Cool. All right, so as you can see, it works as expected for these first two cases. So let's go ahead and submit. And there you have it. We have our solution uh, that is adequate for all the test cases in this LeetCode problem. So to analyze the time and space complexity, so the time complexity is going to be big O of n, and that's because we're going through the length of the input parameter in our for loop. And then the space complexity is going to be big O of n as well, because we're making a stack that can be technically as large as the input string of size n, right? Say this didn't have any stars at all and we weren't removing any characters, then the size of the stack can be up to the size of string s, and same with the string builder as well. So there you have it. If you found this helpful, please go ahead and drop a like for the video and then subscribe for more related content. As always, I'm open to suggestions or feedback, so go ahead and leave that in the comments for me, and we will see you in the next video.